Well, good afternoon, everybody. The weather has certainly brightened up. It's weigh-in day here in lovely Monaco. We're coming to you live from the equally as wonderful Casino de Monte Carlo, just about 30 feet or so from where today's weigh-in is taking place. It will be where all the action is unfolding tomorrow night live on DAZN as we count down to Joe Cordina versus Edward Vasquez. That's your main event, IBF World Super Featherweight Championship on the line atop a great card. I'm Jamie Ward, and alongside me once again is Mr. Monte Carlo. How are you, Darren? Well, you've lost even more buttons this time. And do you know what? We've all got the same colour on. Me, you, Eddie, and Frank Smith, all wearing beige.
We got the memo, didn't we? We got the memo.
All wearing beige. Darren, I've got to say you, because I know we talked about yesterday about how much you're enjoying being here in Monaco, but this week, I've got to say, I've seen you in the spa, massage rooms, getting your eyebrows done. Have you done any work? Because I've been here since 6 a.m. We've got no desk in front of us. It's all ad hoc. And where have you been?
How do you know all of that?
Well, I might have been with you, but that's
exactly.
I'm only joking. But yeah, a bit different today. No desk.
Yeah.
So we're free balling slightly.
In 5 years that I've done this, it's the first time I've done it without a desk. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
You're doing very well, mate.
Thank you very much, mate. No pressure whatsoever. Darren, weigh-in day. We always talk about, and I always reference your fighting days. When you get to this day of the week, when you look at how the anticipation's been building, especially yesterday at the press conference with Guzman and Ali, looking forward to watching their final face-off today. We've heard the back and forth all week between Cordina and Vasquez. Is this the point? Make him wait. That dial just starts to shift, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's why you always see a little bit of needles sometimes at the weigh-ins, because your frustrations are so. I mean, like anything can wind you up at this stage. Making weight's horrible, but also this can be a very good day, because this is the day that you can hydrate. You're moments away from being able to fully hydrate and feel good again. But yeah, I think we're going to see more of the same from Guzman. I think she's really going to try and unsettle Ramla Ali. I think Joe Cordina and Vasquez are going to be a little bit less as hyped, but ultra professional and ultra confident in that they can both upset the apple cart on Saturday night. It's a brilliant. Do you know what? I'm buzzing to be here. Not just because of all the activities that I've been doing away from boxing, but
yeah, right.
It's just great to be here. It's a different kind of atmosphere, but yeah, what a place, what a show.
Well, you cycled to Italy.
I cycled to Italy today, mate. Yeah.
With Craig Richards.
Yeah. Don't tell no one, all right? And you lot don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone. They were electric bikes. Okay. All right, so I cheated a little bit, but yeah, special. I love it here.
And look at the
But my wife's on the way, so she's going to spend everything I've earned probably this year. Okay. So.
Well, talking of wives, the lovely Lauren Cordina is here. Wales in the house. I think Joe was saying that about 100 people have come out without tickets. So I'm expecting quite the atmosphere. And if you look at the atmosphere in here today as well, it's building up nicely, Darren. And when we talk about Joe, and we talk about the maturity, he's a fighter who is always learning, but in particular that Rakhimov fight.
Yeah.
He told me in the build-up that it was the first time he's really had to bite down on his gum shield and find out himself what he's made of. That his last win, of course. Coming into this fight, as a fighter who I say is always learning, what differences do you expect to see in terms of his maturity in the ring?
Well, look, I asked him yesterday, didn't I, at the presser, where's your confidence at after that? Because I can imagine it's through the roof, and Joe said it was. To have the knockout of the year contender in two fights ago, and then to show heart and courage and that real will to win, and everything that you can't teach, is a massive box tick. So going into this fight with Vasquez, he's almost a complete fighter. Confidence through the roof, the amateur pedigree that he brings into the fight. And look, I know Vasquez is a very capable fighter. We see that against Raymond Ford, be it down at featherweight, but it's very hard to look past Joe Cordina, who I'm a massive fan of.
And everyone always says your next fight is always your biggest fight. In terms of pressures here this weekend, Joe knows that this is must-win for him.
Yeah, I mean, look, we can all talk about what's next, but Joe can't. He has to be fully focused on Edward Vasquez. I mean, you got Lee Wood, you got Navarrete, you got Foster. There's 3 huge fights, and I'm pretty sure one of those will be next. Joe cannot think about that. Vasquez is the only person on his thoughts at the minute.
Yeah, big fights looming for Joe Cordina, but business to take care of first of all tomorrow night. Let's have a look at what is coming up tomorrow, your fight card here, and also the weigh-in order for this afternoon. We begin with that rematch, Alejandro Guzman versus Ramla Ali. That one 10-2s for the WBA International Super Bantamweight Championship, which leads us in nicely to the return of Sully Sissoko, Olympic bronze medalist from 2016. Had a little bit of bad luck with injuries, but he returns in what is actually quite a tough fight to defend his WBC silver welterweight title against big punching Mexican Isaias Lucero. That lands us in nicely to the first of 2 IBF World title fights. Firstly, Sivanati Nonshinga the special one who's got big plans to be undisputed, defends his IBF World Light Flyweight Championship against Adrian Zuriel Dominguez of Mexico City. Before that main event, IBF World Super Featherweight Championship, Joe Cordina versus Edward Vasquez. I believe we are just about ready to get going. We can just hear David Diamante.
Trying to warm up the crowd.
I think he's getting the crowd going. I don't think they need warming up, but we are almost ready to get going, I hear. So let's throw to your MC for the afternoon. It's Mr. David Diamante.
Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue à Casino Monte Carlo, ici dans le magnifique pays de Monaco. Nous avons une incroyable soirée de boxe ce samedi. Et aujourd'hui, on pèse le boxeur. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the world-famous Monte Carlo Casino here in the wonderful, beautiful country of Monaco. We have an incredible World Championship boxing match this Saturday here at the casino, and it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. All of the action will go out live around the world exclusively on DAZN and here in France on RMC Sport. Ladies and gentlemen, what a fight card. We have 4 fights. We have 2 title fights, all 4 titles, 2 regional titles, and at the top of the bill, 2 world titles. Joe Cordina defends his IBF title against Edward Vasquez. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring the fighters up to the stage so they can face the scale and face each other. Our first contest, it's a rematch, and it is picante. 10 rounds for the WBA International Super Bantamweight Championship. Now making her way to the stage, fighting out of the east end of London, Bethnal Green, by way of Mogadishu, Somalia, Ramla Ali. And their opponent now making her way to the stage, a professional record 13-2-2 with 7 wins, coming by way of knockout, presentando de Ciudad Obregón, Sonora, Mexico, damas y caballeros, Alejandra Roquero Guzman. Now to the scale, Ramla Ali. 121.8 for Ramla Ali, 121 pounds, 8 ounces for Ramla Ali. And now to the scale, ladies and gentlemen, Alejandra La Roquera Guzman. $121.5 for Alejandra La Roquera Guzman, 121.5.
Well, Darren, we saw the face-off yesterday. That went viral, that clip. Are you expecting more of the same 100%. Here in the final face-off?
100%. She's just fired up, pumped up. She wants to get in the head, even more so, of Ramla Ali, who looks composed, looks calm, but she'll be extremely nervous after how that first fight went.
Well, let's have a look.
Guzman Ali, 10 rounds for the WBA International Super Bantamweight Championship. Matchroom Boxing live on DAZN and RMC Sport from Monaco.
When you look at the approach, Darren, I think it's safe to say we can expect Elisa Guzman to come flying out the traps at Ramla Ali. The first few rounds, how important has it got to be for her just to remain calm and switched on?
Throughout the whole contest, she has to be disciplined from start to finish. She cannot switch off for a second, because we see in the first fight how devastating a puncher Guzman is.
How do you think she'll be feeling? Because she said she's been composed. She spoke very well, I thought, at the press conference. But we always talk about pressure, don't we? And it's almost unfair sometimes to put even more pressure on fighters. And in Ramla Ali's case, how do you think she'll be feeling?
Well, I don't necessarily think this is pressure. I think a lot of people think this is going to be repeat and it's going to be a crushing victory for Guzman again. But this is a case about blocking everything out and being, I keep using this word, but being as disciplined as you can and bore the life out of the arena. Just bore the life and win the fight. Well,
Alejandra Guzman versus Ramla Ali opens the show tomorrow live on DAZN. Both fighters made weight. We have a fight for that one. Time to weigh in. Fight number 2, the return of Soli Sissoko. Back to David Diamante.
From Monte Carlo, the weigh-in continues. Our next contest, 12 rounds for the WBC Silver Welterweight Championship. Now making his way to the stage, please welcome the challenger. His professional record, 16 victories, only 1 defeat. He has 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Peleando fuera Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, ladies and gentlemen, Isaías Bestia Jr. Lucero. And now making his way to the stage, he is the defending titleist. His professional record, a perfect one. 16 fights, 16 victories, 9 of them coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Paris, France, by way of Senegal. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the 2016 Olympic bronze medalist and the reigning, the defending, and the undefeated WBC Silver Welterweight Champion, Suleiman TKO Sissoko. Now to the scale, the challenger from Tijuana, Mexico, Isaías Bestia Lucero. .147 bang on the welterweight limit for Isaías. 147 bang on for Lucero. And now to the scale, the undefeated defending champion, Suleiman TKO Sissoko. .146.6. 146.6 for Suleiman TKO Sissoko.
Well, Darren, great to see Suleiman Sissoko back in action. Ranked number 3 with the WBC. This professional fight, number 17 for him. In terms of what could be next and in terms of what 2024 should look like, victory dependent, what do you think it should look like for him next year?
Well, I don't think he's too far off challenging for big major titles. I want to see him really impress tomorrow night against Lucero. I say that because I feel there's more in the tank from Sissoko. I think when he goes through the gears and lets his hands go, he really is a joy to watch. So I want to see more of that tomorrow night.
Sissoko v. Lucero, 12 rounds for the WBC Silver Welterweight Championship. Matchroom Boxing live on DAZN from Monte Carlo, Monaco.
Were you ever one, Darren, for a bit of argy-bargy in a face-off?
No. No, what do you think?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I know you past boxing. I mean, I didn't have the pleasure of watching you
Not
fight.
really. I let my fist do the talking.
I believe the next fighters are ready to hit the scales. It's our chief supporting contest. Sivanati Nochinga defends his IBF World Light Flyweight Championship for the second time against Adrian Suriel. Once again, here's David.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, from Monte Carlo, Monaco, it's now time to weigh in the chief support of the evening. As Eddie Hearn from Matchroom Boxing is proud to present 12 rounds for the IBF Light Flyweight Championship of the World. Now making his way to the stage, please welcome the challenger. His professional record, 23 victories, 4 defeats, 1 draw, with 4 wins coming by way of knockout. Presentando el hijo de Mexico City, please welcome Adrian Gatito Curiel. Curiel. And now making his way to the stage, please welcome the defending world champion. His professional record, a perfect one. 12 fights, 12 victories, 9 of them coming by way of knockout. Proudly fighting out of his home of Reeston, Eastern Cape, South Africa, here is the reigning, defending, undefeated IBF Light Flyweight Champion of the World, Sivanati, the Special One, Nochinga. Nochinga. Now to scale the challenger, Adrian Gatito Curiel. $107.9 for Curiel, 107.9 for Adrian Gatito Curiel. And now to the scale, please welcome the defending world champion, Sivanati, the Special One, Nochinga. 107.7 for the defending world champion, Sivanati, the Special One, Nochinga.
Well, great stuff, Darren. Both fighters weighing in inside the light flyweight limit of 108 pounds. How excited are you to watch Sivanati in action in the flesh tomorrow night?
Extremely excited. What a fighter he is, honestly. He's got everything. Rapid hands, feet, reactions. He showed real guts, will to win and determination against Hector Flores. And in his last fight, he showed us that he can move, he can be disciplined, to use that word again, and stick to a very good game plan. He's got it all. A very, very exciting fight. I cannot wait for this one.
Sivanati, the Special One, Nochinga, Adrian Gatito Curiel, 12 rounds for the IBF Light Flyweight Championship of the World, live on DAZN and RMC Sport. Matchroom Boxing from Monte Carlo, Monaco.
Well, talking of argy-bargy, Jamie.
There we go.
There you go. Curiel, I'll tell you, he fancied it. I've seen him walking around the hotel. He's got a bit of a strut in his step, but I tell you now, this man here, like I said in the intro, what a fighter. Has it all. He really, really does. Skill, class, in abundance, hand speed is ridiculous. Don't blink.
Speaking to Civinati this week, Darren, and like I said yesterday, it seems that everything is just part of a bigger picture for him, for his continent, that he wants to not just have success in the ring, but in doing that, inspire a next generation of fighters coming through. As a fighter, how do you draw the balance with focusing on just winning the fight and also trying to look your best doing it?
Well, do you know what? I think it's important to carry all of those sort of weight and expectations and use it as a positive. He strikes me as someone who's very switched on, very mature and very focused, and he's going to have to call on that tomorrow night. It's going to be a brilliant fight. Curio, as you see there, fancies the job. So, as I said, do not blink.
Well, I believe our main event, Joe Cordina, Edward Vasquez, are waiting in the wings to hit the scales for the main event. Weighing for the final time this afternoon. Let's hand back to David.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome everybody here today to the Casino Monte Carlo in the beautiful country of Monaco. And it's now time to weigh in the main event of the evening, as Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, in association with Lou DiBella of DiBella Entertainment, are proud to present 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Super Featherweight Championship of the World. Now making his way to the stage, please welcome the challenger. His professional record, 15 victories, 1 defeat, with 3 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Fort Worth, Texas, USA. Please welcome Edward "The Kid" Vasquez. Vasquez. And his opponent now making his way to the stage, he is the defending world champion. His professional record, a perfect one. 16 fights, 16 victories, with 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Cardiff, Wales, here is the 2016 Olympian and the reigning, defending, undefeated IBF Super Featherweight Champion of the World, the Welsh Wizard, Joe Cordina. Now to the scale, the challenger, Edward "The Kid" Vasquez. $128.8 for Edward Vasquez, $128.8. And now to the scale, the defending world champion, Joe Cordina. $129.9 for the world champion, Joe Cordina. $129.9 for the Welsh Wizard.
Well, Darren, we also spoke yesterday about the size. We know Joe has had success up at lightweight, dropping back down to super featherweight. That success has certainly continued and then some. Could size be a factor tomorrow?
Absolutely, especially down the stretch. And taking size out of the equation, the class, the speed, the power, the courage, the will to win, every single thing this man has in abundance. And we've seen that in his last 2 fights. He's got an awful lot to prove here, Vasquez, this man who did show against Raymond Ford, be it down at featherweight, he's a very, very hard man to beat. Sets up now for a beautiful, fantastic, entertaining fight for sure Saturday night.
Cardiff certainly in the house. Great atmosphere here in the Casino de Monte Carlo. Let's bring the 2 main event fighters together for the final face-to-face.
Joe, easy work.
Joe Cordina, Edward Vasquez, Welsh Wizard, the Kid, 12 rounds for the IBF Super Featherweight Championship of the World. Matchroom Boxing in association with Tabella Entertainment, live on DAZN and RMC Sport from Monte Carlo, Monaco.
Well, Joe Cordina has said throughout the whole build-up, absolutely no stone left unturned in the gym with Tony Sims. And talking of Tony Sims, how about Tony Sims trained fighters? Brilliant to be joined by the Destroyer, Conor Ben. Conor, how are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Firstly, I know you guys are so tight-knit in the gym. You're here to support Joe. Why was it important for you to be by his side this week?
Mate, he's two-time world champion. Do you know what I mean? See all the work that the team puts in. You see how hard he trains. Seeing the fighters reap the rewards of it. You know, so seeing Joe do what he does. You know, he's a performer, and that's what he does, man.
It's got to be a buzz as well for you lot in the gym. You know, you hear it all the time, to use the phrase, success breeds success. You must look at him and think, that's where I want to be. I want to be winning these titles.
Yeah, it's a matter of time. Do you know what I mean? We're all on the same mission. We're all on the same goal. You know, it's capturing those world titles. But watching Joe and see how he does it and how he moves, he's just a special fighter, isn't he?
How do you see him winning tomorrow, Conor, when you look at Vasquez?
I mean, it may be very biased, but I think he knocks him out of it in 4 rounds. Too slow. Joe's just a sharp shooter. And, you know, he really don't miss. You know, so when he comes out, you just don't know they won't know what hit him. He won't know what hit him. He's so quick, sharp, accurate. And, you know, there's that power, there's that spitefulness in the shot. Maybe not like thudding power, but he's got that spitefulness in the shot that just sends them over.
Jamie mentioned size as well. Do you think that'll play a part?
Oh, massively. Massively, of course. I mean, you can tell the size difference. It's his first fight, 135. Vasquez, am I right?
Yeah, 130.
First fight, 130.
Well, super featherweight, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know,
he's boxed in and around super feather, but I believe first time.
He knocked a gal out, cold. Who was the other knock? Personally,
Rakimov.
Oh,
Learned a lot that night.
Yeah, but that was a good fight. I don't think this guy's no Rakimov. You know, what I've watched of him, Joe would just do what Joe wants to do there at will.
That fight with Rakimov, we mentioned there, Joe, he said to me himself, it was the first time he really had to dig in and find out what he was made of, but the fitness just shone through it, and that's something that Tony prides himself on.
That's a work ethic, you know, and I believe what you do early on in your career, in the early years, plays a part in your career towards the end of your career. And, you know, Joe really lives the life. He's about this. He's really about this game. You know, a lot of people talk about it, but he's just about this life. You know, no stone unturned. And it's the classic Tony Sims say, well, you know how Tony works. Yeah, if all people know, you know how Tony works, and, you know, he pushes you, you know, to the brink. That's what I mean. How about the triangle? You were there for the triangle?
No, I went at that gym. I went at that gym, thankfully.
I heard you're an unbelievable runner, though.
I would have battered you.
Crushing it. Crushing it in the gym, mate.
Is anyone wasting it?
Frenchman Suleiman Sissoko on the undercard.
Yeah.
Someone who might be on your radar? Or is he on your radar?
I haven't seen him. Is he 147?
147, yep. WBC number 3.
So he's not,
WBC number 3.
He's not on your radar then, no?
No, listen, any 147's under my radar. But I don't... right now I'm on another mission. You know,
thought about this mission.
Yeah,
then.
right now I'm on another mission.
Well, you're here to support Joe, but I know the knuckles will be itchy for you seeing all this.
The knuckles are always itchy.
What's the latest? Because Harlem Eubank's been chiming in as well. What's going on? What did you make of that, first of all?
Yeah, he's a nephew. You know, it is what it is. I mean, it's sad to see Eubank pushing Harry ahead of
Harlem.
Yeah, ahead of.
You might have done that deliberately.
But I didn't.
Okay.
Harry Eubank. It's got a ring to it, innit? Anyway, push him in front of his son. You can clearly see there's issues there. You know, I wouldn't want to be taking food out my other son's mouth. You know, imagine having, you know, the name Eubank as a leg up and no one knows who you are. You know, so for me, I've got bigger plans. I mean, I don't bite. I don't take no notice of it. You know, for me, it's Eubank. And it's Eubank Jr., there's personal beef there, and he's settling, and I need to just deal with him. You know, shut him up once and for all, and then move on back down to 147. You know, and fight, you know, the likes of Barrios. I love that fight. Like, let's make that straight after the Eubank fight. You got Furman, let's make that. You got Danny Garcia, let's make that. You got Ennis, let's make that. You know.
Well, I had a chat with Tony this week. He says it's close. So, do you believe we're hearing dates at the end of January?
From what I'm hearing, it's done.
Okay.
You just want to fight, didn't you?
I just want to get out. I don't even care who it is. But the reality is, I missed out so much this year that for me, it's just about get me whoever they put in front of me, no problem, I'll deal with. No nerves. You know, when you've been through what I've been through, it gives you nothing but resilience and strength. What's another man? What, 160? Because the reality is, if me and Eubank were on road and I go, yeah, but what you weighing? I'll still believe I iron him out. There's no different between us in the boxing ring, except there's rules. He's another man. He's I can't even say what I want to say, because I'm live on DAZN.
We'll keep it PG. Connor, we can't wait to hear some news. Thanks so much for joining us. The action, of course, does not stop with Joe Cordina. Stacked schedule coming up on DAZN. Let's have a little look where you'll have to look forward to. As I say, begins this weekend. Joe Cordina versus Edward Vasquez from Monte Carlo live on DAZN. We head to Newcastle next week before the small matter of Chantel Cameron versus Katie Taylor 2. Massive rematch, that one. Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis on December 9th from San Francisco, and that huge flyweight unification as well between Bam Rodriguez and Sonny Edwards, December 16th. Could we still see a fight on December 23rd? Perhaps Anthony Joshua.
Fingers crossed, Jamie.
Fingers crossed. Well, not for, I mean, your wife, Beth, at home. Is she doing all the Christmas shopping then, if you have to have another fight with AJ?
Yeah.
You haven't thought about this, have you?
Yeah, no, I haven't. No, that's right.
About this.
Scrap that.
Scrap that indeed. It's live, you can't undo that one. She'll be watching us as well. Well, that concludes today's weigh-in. Really enjoyed that. All fighters making weight. 4 fights to look forward to from Monte Carlo on DAZN tomorrow night. The action begins at the usual time in the UK, 7 p.m. The live broadcast begins. Myself and Darren Barker alongside Mike Costello. Tony Bellew will be part of your broadcast team on DAZN tomorrow night, so you can look forward to that as well. It'll be 8 p.m. local time here in Monte Carlo. From myself, Jamie Ward, from Darren Barker, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. One place to watch it, that's DAZN.
Boxing on DAZN, sponsored by William Hill.
Have you been there? Been places no one should go? If you've been there, then you know. There's no such thing as solo. Wherever you go, we go. Every step, every wall, every climb. We always have your back.
Join us for the Mercedes-Benz Platinum Star event at your local showroom from the 10th to the 13th of November. Take advantage of 0% APR representative, available across selected electric cars. Plus, unlock our event-only offers in-store. The Platinum Star event. Visit us from the 10th to the 13th of November.
Boxing on DAZN, sponsored by William Hill.